Hello and welcome to Squib TV. I'm Samuel Layton, joined by James Cartwright, and today we're going to be
looking ahead to week 2.
So yeah, after week 1, we've given you a review video. Quite a few things happened that we weren't perhaps expecting, namely the Kansas City Chiefs absolutely whitewashing the New England Patriots. Is there anything in particular that going from last week you want to look out for this week?
Yeah, I want to see how Tom Brady bounces back from that game, that defeat. It just wasn't seeming to connect with his receivers, particularly Chris Hogan. I think he tried to go long to him quite a number of times and it just wasn't happening for him. And as I said, Alex Smith looked like Tom Brady last week. He's playing against the Saints this weekend. I think that's a perfect game for him to bounce back in. That Saints secondary is, as we know, one of the worst in the NFL. And, you know, I can imagine that he'll come back and he'll throw over 35 points this game. That's what I'm predicting for this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be really exciting to see Tom Brady. I mean, I've seen some of the NFL pundits come out and say he looks like he's 40 years old, he's playing like he's 40 years old. I mean, that's probably because the guy is 40 years old. So, I mean, you got to be fair. I mean, the guy's won 5 rings. I think, like you say, coming against the Saints, one of the worst secondaries in the NFL. No offence to Saints fans there, but really weak secondary. Tom Brady's gonna want to win this game. He's gonna have to come out fighting. But that being said, it's going to be a really interesting game as it happens to see him and Drew Brees going at it.
Potentially the last time. Yeah,
2 of the greatest in the game, potentially come to the end of their careers. 2 Hall of Fame QBs. It's not actually one of James's games to watch, but
it's not, no.
But certainly, if you are a Saints or Eagles, Saints or Patriots fan, you're in for a treat with that game. Hopefully, the Saints can keep it interesting. I think Drew Brees will keep it interesting. He's the sort of guy who can do that.
Well, I think I noticed from the Thursday night game is that you can score points on this Patriots defence. You can get in behind them, hurt that secondary, and that's what the Saints are good at. So, yeah, I think it'll be a close game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be
high scoring. Yeah,
it should be a high scoring game. Browns last week they looked like they improved a little bit. What do you think of the Browns coming into this week? Do you think they're going to be an improved side? Are we likely to see Myles Garrett playing this week? Do you know?
I can't say I've really looked at his injury report. I mean, I'm sure the Browns know whether he's fit to play or not. Just see whether Deshaun Kaiser can carry on, you know, performing well and building up the connections with the likes of Kenny Brick and Isaiah Crowell run the football. You know, can David Njoku come and be that main guy at the tight end position? Yeah, maybe the Browns, who knows, could get the first win of the season.
Yeah, I think the Browns are an interesting team to watch. 2 more teams I just want to mention. Obviously, we didn't get the chance to see them last week. Miami play this week and Tampa Bay play this week. Miami, I've got to talk about Jay Cutler. Do you think Jay Cutler's going to be Jay Cutler of early Bears days, taking them to the playoffs, or do you think Jay Cutler's going to be late Jay Cutler, throwing picks, being injured for the whole season? Which Jay Cutler are we likely to see?
Oh, for Jay Cutler's sake, it's the former and not the latter. But, I mean, what was the most recent Jay Cutler was obviously the latter, so...
Yeah, I mean, my argument's going to be that the guy's going to be chilled out. He's going to be thinking, you know, I'm in here as a backup, I'm in here as a stopgap. It's a 1-year deal while Tannehill recovers from his injury. Maybe without that pressure of him being the guy, he'll be the guy. I think with Jay Cutler, he's always had that.
I think we're running the football more anyway.
Yeah, Jay Ajayi, it'd be fantastic to see how he does. Obviously, a guy flying the flag for the English, as you've said, the British, of course. It'd be good to see how he performs. And we'll talk about James's second favourite team, Tampa Bay. They look quite good. Jameis Winston, Mike Evans, all the stars. Obviously, what you're going to have as well, Doug Martin's actually going to miss 2 games now of the season, I believe, because obviously he's missed the first week, unless it's still 3 games. But either way, the Bucs, do you think they'll come out strong?
Well, I think they'll be itching to start because last week, you know, getting postponed. I think no NFL player's ever gone through that where the beginning of the season's been called off. So we'll see how they get on. I don't know, that'll knock a bit of sharpness out of them, the fact that they didn't play first week. I think a lot of the other teams will obviously be in the stride now. I think they'll start slow, but I think they'll get a win.
I think one thing I don't want to happen to Miami and Tampa Bay is what seemed to happen to Houston, where obviously the disaster of obviously the natural disaster, which obviously is shocking, and obviously we wish everyone well who's involved. But that sort of acts as a hangover on the team. Houston seemed to be sort of thinking of the effects of Hurricane Harvey. They didn't seem to be in their stride. Football wasn't the number one thing in that city at that time, and I think perhaps that's that could weigh on Miami and Tampa Bay's mind. But for the sake of the teams, I think both teams have a chance to get to the playoffs. So I'd like to see them do well, especially Miami with Brady not being as he is.
Well, it was only week one.
Well, you know, if he doesn't improve this week, the questions will start being asked. But this has happened before to Tom Brady, and he came back and won with a couple of rings. So yeah. We will move on to James's games of the week. James, you have 3 games of the week. Can you give us your first one?
And that is the KC Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles at the Arrowhead Stadium. I think it'll be a belting game. I think the Eagles looked a quality side going forward. Carson Wentz making the plays. Can he do that against this quality Chiefs defence? I believe Eric Berry's out, if you were telling me right.
Berry out for the season, yeah, that's going to be a big loss for the Chiefs. Carson Wentz could burn him there, but you're still talking Marcus Peters as the cornerback. He's going to come and make plays. Justin Houston still going to be there in the linebacker position. Players like Tamba Hali getting involved. I really like the Chiefs. As you know, I've predicted them to go on and make the Super Bowl this season. I think it'll be a tough game for the Eagles. Eagles with a good defence and a good offence. I think they're one of them teams where they're good on both sides of the ball. More experience, more they play, I think they'll improve. Chiefs, I think, are one of the top teams in this league. I think it's going to be a Chiefs win, but I think it's going to be a closer game than the Patriots managed to do.
I think it will be as well, but I think it'll be a raucous atmosphere at Arrowhead Stadium, as it is usually welcoming back their heroes after that fantastic win at Gillette Stadium.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll move on to your second game, James, which is?
The Denver Broncos are hosting the Dallas Cowboys. I think, can we see how has Trevor Siemian improved? Can he be the guy? Dak Prescott going on the road. Ezekiel, do they still have the quality to beat these quality defences? And I put this game in because a few years back, this was one of the best NFL games I've ever seen. I think it was about 50-48 or something, one of the highest scoring games between Tony Romo and Peyton Manning. It was just a shootout. I don't think it'll be that this weekend. I think it'll be more, run. But it'll be intriguing. I can see it being more like the Seahawks-Packers game. I put in my games of the week. I'm not looking at these games that are going to be, always going to be the one team massively outscoring the other or hammering each other. I do like these intriguing run games where it's sort of, each play matters.
More like a chess match rather than
more of a chess match. I mean, you might say I'm a bit boring for that kind of.
No, I think good to watch good defense as well, and to watch how teams are going to plug away at those defenses is really interesting. I think Dallas at Denver is always a good game. 2 decent teams, 2 teams that want to be looking at getting to the playoffs, 2 teams that want to be looking at winning their divisions. Like you say, Simeon, is he going to be a good quarterback? Is he going to be the man who leads that team? Dak Prescott looks good. Zeke's still there. I mean, the boys going on the road against one of the toughest defences. Going to be an interesting game for definite. Now, your final game, James?
It's the Atlanta Falcons hosting the Green Bay Packers in the first game at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Yeah,
and I mean, Green Bay coming off the back of your last game of the week, a win against a tough Seahawks team. This game is obviously the one that was the NFC Championship game last season, a replay of that one, and Atlanta took Green Bay apart. This time without as much pressure, without anyone being on a specific run. Both teams winning fairly narrowly. Against decent teams. The Bears look decent this time around. Do you see this being Aaron Rodgers v Matt Ryan, or do you think there's more to this game?
I can see it being like the regular season game between these two sides last season. I think the Packers came out with a narrow victory last time, or it might have been a Falcons victory. I can't remember. It was a lot closer than the NFC Championship game. A lot of people commenting at the start of the season from that Packers Seahawks game is that the Packers defence is looking a lot better in that opening game. So can they stop Matt Ryan? And can Matt Ryan, coming back to his, the city of Atlanta after losing the Super Bowl in such disappointing fashion, a lot of people are going to be asking about them Super Bowl hangovers. Can they get the win and really banish it?
I mean, I'm going to go bold on this one. I think Green Bay are going to win it quite convincingly. I think that, no disrespect to the Falcons, I just think they were a team that was on a run last season. They got themselves to the final game, obviously the Super Bowl, and they didn't go through with it. They were on a run for all season minus 2 quarters basically. Packers, for me, they're one of the best teams in the NFL. They always will be when Aaron Rodgers is the QB. So we'll move on to just a few players to watch. We've mentioned Tom Brady. It's going to be interesting seeing him coming back out. I've gone for Jared Goff. I think he started really well last game. Real good connection with Cooper Kupp, the rookie. Looks a great player. Todd Gurley looks back like the Todd Gurley of old. Do you see Jared Goff maybe having a good game this week?
Well, if he knows the playbook and he's learnt how to be an NFL quarterback, I don't see any reason why not. But I think this will more be a test of how good is Jared Goff against a better side than the Indianapolis Colts. So if he doesn't perform well, I think that's really a reflection of how bad this Colts side is.
Yeah, I think Goff played well last time out, but the Colts didn't really help themselves, like you say. So he's just a player on a watch. Can he string a couple of good performances together? Can he get these Rams a couple of wins? 2-0 sounds a lot better than 1-1 or 0-2. That confidence with Aaron Donald coming back in maybe is going to really boost that side. Perhaps they could make a playoff run. Another player that we've mentioned, Tariq Cohen. James, anything you want to say about him? The human joystick, as he's known.
The human joystick's an interesting nickname for him. Yeah, to see if he, was that week a fluke, or is he actually a guy who can be that second running back and get them yards, make the catches out the backfield, make them going forward, and just give a bit more flexibility to the Chicago offense.
See, Tariq Cohen reminds me of a simply because of his height.
Darren Sproles.
Darren Sproles mixed with Danny Woodhead, because Danny Woodhead makes the catches out of the backfield.
Yes, he does.
Darren Sproles is a nice quick runner, which is a shame for Baltimore. He looked very good, but he reminds me of a cross between those two, and they're two dangerous players. If you mix that, that's going to be a very good.
I think that's going to be the main part of that Chicago offense, because wide receiver wise they're a bit thin.
Well, Kevin White's out for the season. That's what Josh Bellamy is their number one guy as it stands. Finally, one last thing to watch out for this week. How are the Cardinals going to react to losing David Johnson for the season? The guy who was number one overall pick in most of our fantasy drafts, he certainly was in ours, goes out with a wrist injury. I mean, how are the Cards going to react to that? They got beat off the back of that. When he went down, the team sort of crumbled. Have they got a decent replacement? Are we going to see CJ2K back at his form, or do you think it's going to be someone else that's going to go in there and rush for them?
I personally think they're going to be throwing the football a lot. Don't think they'll be giving too many reps to the running backs in these games. Larry Fitzgerald's going to have to step up his game, be the Larry Fitzgerald of old. But I think it really hurts the Cardinals' offense. I don't see any quality in that offense apart from David Johnson from the running back position. As I say, Larry Fitzgerald is always a decent player, but now he's getting to the end of his career and can't make 15-20 receptions in a game.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably all for today. If you disagree with us in any way, if you have something else, any other players to watch, any other games that you recommend we should watch, or any predictions you've got, please feel free to comment. Tweet us at Squib_TV. Like the video, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.
It's a touchdown.